Okay, guys, so we are here to do a follow-up video on basically everything that's been going on in the professional wrestling world this week. I'm going to start doing a weekly video about all the wrestling stuff. So here we go. So, double or nothing. So, it's been official that we're going to get Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. That's one of the matches that has been booked. Um, we're also going to be getting a triple threat women's match with Kylie Ray actually is going to be in this match. Should be decent. Britt Baker and Rose. I can't remember her first name off the top of my head. Um, those are just a few main events that have been added. There's going to be like a few other ones that are going to be announced probably as time goes on. We still have quite a bit of time before the actual event. Impact Wrestling has been building towards quite an event, honestly, with the return of Rob Van Dam and Sabu versus the Lucha Bros. That should be a really good match. I like that they're building a great rivalry between Tessa Blanchard and Taya Valkyrie, and you throw Gail Kim into that situation. It really works for the knockouts. Um, and then Scarlett Bortez or Bordeaux, she's also been in quite a situation building with her career and Impact, and she's doing very wonderful things with that too. They're pushing Brian Cage, Eli Drake. Um, yeah, I can't really Eddie Edwards. I mean, he's finally shining the way he should. I liked his match at Bound for Glory with Tommy Dreamer. I thought that was a great match, honestly. And we're not really keen on the X Division right now because we don't really know the situation with Matt Sydal, whether he's re-signing, not re-signing. It seems like they just come and go with athletes in that division right now. Not really any stable athletes or have been signed, which is kind of a sad issue because that's what Impact was the X Division. Um, and yeah, as far as Lucha Underground, all I'm hearing right now, big news as far as some of the former wrestlers and current wrestlers are pretty unhappy with what is going on with management. There's been a lot of reports that some people might even leave the company and go to AEW or WWE or in other companies that might be interested in their talents. Um, I haven't really watched an episode of Lucha Underground probably in a few weeks, so I'm not exactly sure what the situation is. But it sounds like there's people who aren't really happy with their contracts. Um, so we'll go to WWE, where we've had solid programming, honestly, since the Royal Rumble. I've been really impressed with the rivalry that they are building between Becky Lynch and Charlotte now. I was really impressed with Raw, actually. Raw was a really good, decent show this week. I really enjoyed the women's tag team match. I thought that they're really building towards this tag team tournament at Elimination Chamber. We got to see Paul Heyman on this past week's Raw. Kurt Angle. Pretty much everybody I wanted to see was on Monday Night Raw. They're building a lot of great rivalries towards Elimination Chamber. And I think that the Elimination Chamber match 5-on-5 main event, honestly, between Bryan Styles, Hardy, Orton, Kofi Kingston is now in that match, and Samoa Joe. I think that match is going to be wicked with Kofi Kingston in it because he proved on this week's SmackDown that he wants an opportunity at that championship. And who wouldn't? He's been in the company for 11 years. Give it to him. That's what I'm saying. As a Kofi Kingston fan, the guy deserves a shot at the championship. You should have given it to him years ago. So, who do I think is going to win that situation? Well, I would lean towards Styles. Uh, Kingston might be the wild card. I hate to say it, but I think Bryan might actually pull out the win. I think he might figure out a way to cheat to win, like he did in the Royal Rumble match. But anyways, Eric Rowan. Um, so Bray Wyatt has appeared at several independent, well, not independent, but small booking WWE events. He has competed, but they have not really had anything for him to do on the main roster yet on Raw. I would move him to SmackDown. Have him have a rivalry with Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. I think that would be wonderful for the business. And you have to do something with Bray. Bray's just sitting there. He has a great character. Bring back the Wyatt family or something. I mean, do something with him. Like, something has to come of it. I mean, I just don't understand what's going on. As far as my rating for Raw, I would give it a solid 7. I thought it was a really decent show. I just finished watching SmackDown. I really enjoyed it. I would give that a 7 too. Overall, I would say WWE programming this week, other than NXT, which I have not watched yet because it's not been aired yet, I would say overall solid reviews. I like the fact that Vince McMahon came back and we got to see Triple H and Stephanie. And I like, again, the segments with Charlotte and Becky, I think are really going over with the fans. And a lot of people have been complaining on social media saying, oh, well, why did they take Becky out of the main event? I want to reassure everybody right now towards WrestleMania, it's all a storyline. There's no, conspiracy against Becky Lynch getting this shot at Ronda Rousey and adding Charlotte Flair to the match. I don't really understand why people are making such a big deal about it. It's all for entertainment. The long run and purpose for this is obviously to have all three competitors be at WrestleMania and compete in this match and have the first ever triple threat women's match at WrestleMania in history. My predictions is that they're going to have Becky win this match because they're not going to have Charlotte Flair be a heel and walk into WrestleMania and defeat Ronda Rousey and Becky. I just don't see it that way. I know that a lot of people are saying, oh, Charlotte is going to come out with the championship. My theory, honestly, is no, I don't see it that way. You're building a great storyline for WrestleMania. I say continue with it and just excel from there. As far as what other matches I predict happening, honestly, the Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar match, I think, is going to be a great accomplishment for Raw. Seth Rollins, if he does defeat Brock Lesnar, I see him holding on to that championship for a long time, honestly. Because who else is going to be on Raw to basically have the Universal Championship other than him? Finn Balor, yes. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But are they going to give it to him? Probably not, because he has a rivalry with Bobby Lashley that I consider to be going on to WrestleMania, and I guarantee that they're going to have a match between Balor versus, Lashley at WrestleMania, and then I think that they're going to have a tag match with Angle and Strowman versus McIntyre and, Corbin. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, not have a tag team championship match on SmackDown this year at WrestleMania, because that might be like a pre-show match where Shane and Miz defended against, a tag team like Sanity, or Ty Dillinger would come back and tag with like R-Truth or something like that. I mean, yeah, the Bar might be another option, but they could have another match for them, going forward as well. I mean, they could fight Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for all I know. I don't know. I mean, we're not really sure what the other matches are going to be at WrestleMania yet. I'm just, bullshitting here. But I'm just going to say right now that I think this is a solid win for the fans. I think that wrestling is going to be getting much better as announced. I mean, New Japan has done a lot of things recently too, signing Kota Ibushi. They might even sign Kenta. And Jay White is the World Heavyweight Champion now. Ring of Honor, I've noticed that they're signing up a lot of independent talent, that they're doing a lot of things to try to better their situation. So I think going into the major events, which AEW has at least 4 events already booked, including a second All-In in Chicago. And then they have in the works a TV deal going into the fall. They might be signing some other talent coming up here too. So, and Batista, guys. He has 2 offers right now. One is from AEW and one is from WWE. I don't hear anything as far as which company he's signing with yet. If he goes to WWE, he's obviously going to want that match with Triple H. Now, if Vince McMahon and the McMahon family want that, I'm not against that. I wouldn't mind seeing that match at least one last time. But they're also talking about The Rock being involved in WrestleMania, so I don't know what's going on there. The AEW offer, honestly, might be more appealing to him because he can start at a fresh company. It sounds like they really want to work with him and make things more interesting for his career. But he's also doing movies, so we don't really know exactly what the situation is. When I know a little bit more, I'll keep people posted. NXT, sorry, is on tonight, so I'm going to be watching that and keep you up to date on that. I like the fact that EC3 has had 2 matches on Raw. It sounds like he might be on Raw permanently. I'm not against that. The matches with Dean Ambrose have been pretty decent. And Ambrose will be a free agent as of after WrestleMania, like 5 days after WrestleMania, he will be a free agent. So he can go wherever he wants. And they have a lot of other contracts that are up. So it sounds like a lot of talent might go elsewhere. So I don't know. We'll have to see.